Hey there, hi. I'm just gonna dive in. My name is Marjana and I have notes here because I have a few videos to film today. I want to talk about my read or unhaul TBR of 2025. Super self-explanatory. I need to read it in 2025 or unhaul. These are just the books that I don't want to see on my TBR for another year. No pressure. Let's start with the first one, shall we? Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I've had it on my TBR since 2014. Never had any motivation to do it, any reason why. Next year, when I react to this video, I want this video to be the reason for me to actually read these books. Because it's getting ridiculous for me not to pick up books that have been on my TBR for years. Next up is the third book in the Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson. So we have The Kiss of Deception and we have The Heart of Betrayal. Both of these I've read and both of these I loved. I read them years apart. This series is amazing, but I never picked up The Beauty of Darkness. So in 2025, I'm making it my goal to read The Beauty of Darkness. I want to have an entire series. There's no reason for me not to have an entire series when I love this series. But ever since Book Depository shut down, I just find it so hard to get books. This next book I've already started. I DNF'd it years ago and I've been going through a years-long reading slump. Even though I was in denial, I know that a lot of the books that I used to DNF were also because I was not in the mood, which I clearly stated in my videos. But this series I want to give another chance. I recently finished season 1 of book 1 and that series is called Silo. I want to read the second book, Shift by UNHAUL. I had this series on my TBR for years. I want to pick up where I left off and I want to finish this series, or at least this book. I can always have Dust for 2026. Another series I need to make progress in. I started rereading it a few years ago again and I stopped on my favorite book, which should have been enough of an indication that I was going through a book slump. I never reached my actual goal, which to reach this book and read it. That's why I was rereading the entire series, because I wanted to catch up and refresh my memory of what is happening in Empire of Storms. 263 pages into this book. I reread this section twice and now it's time for me to pick up where I left off because I don't want to reread this part. I remember what's happened, so I just want to pick up and I want to finish it. I want to be one step closer to finishing this series. Okay, this book is the last book in its trilogy and I read the second book this year. The first one I read last year or maybe 2 years ago, and I don't know what's taking me so long because the format is amazing. I'm listening to the audiobook while I have the physical book. So in 2025 I want to finish this series because I did finish the second book, which was Gemina. So the third one is Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I want to finish it. I want to be done with it. This next book was written by an author whose books I've already read. They also wrote one of my most beloved series and I want to start this one. This is the first book. The book is called Trial by Fire by Josephine Angelini. The Book Depository was so easy. You found your editions and you can make them match. But now I'm worried if I order from online somewhere, the editions won't match anymore. And not that I'm a big fan of this edition, to be honest. It grinds my gears and it makes me more hesitant to pick something up, even though I know it's such a small thing. But again, if I don't read this book in 2025, I'm unhauling it. Okay, this one I need to pick it up because it's been forever. This is probably the one book on this entire list that I need to read in 2025, or I seriously mean it. It's gone. Because now this is getting ridiculous. It's called The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. I keep avoiding this book. I'm most hesitant about this book and there's no reason. I absolutely love Morgan Matson's book. Second Chance Summer is one of my favorites. I loved Amy and Roger's Epic Detour. I've read a lot of Morgan Matson's books. So why is it taking me so long to pick this one up? Because it's fat, it's big, it's chunky. This one needs to go, okay? This one I need to finish. Okay, the next three are actually very recent purchases. And the reason why they're on this list is because One, they intimidate me like hell. If I don't put them on the list, I'll probably never read them. So first one is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I need to prioritize this. My sister said I'm gonna love it, and if she is wrong, I will never listen to her again. But she recommended The Hunger Games to me, which was the book series, the book trilogy that got me into reading. So at this point, listen, I need to give her another chance. I want to see if I love this as much as my sister says and everybody else says that I will. We have The Book That Wouldn't Burn. Chunky. Chunky, chunky, chunky. It's big. It's big. So yeah, intimidated. It's always so hard for me to dive into fantasy because you have unfamiliar world, unfamiliar characters, unfamiliar words. You know, like when you have a word for species and magic systems, and it's just complicated. And that's why fantasy is so hard for me to get into. Like, I'm so intimidated by it. Yeah, and kingdoms and political intrigue and all of that. Like, but I need to pick it up. I need to read it. Maybe I'll love it. And the next one proves exactly my point. It intimidates me. It's called The Iron Widow. It's so beloved. My expectations are high. I have this book signed, and it's probably the most valuable, oh my god, that word kills me, valuable book I own, so I need to read it. So guys, we've reached the end of the list. These are all my books that I need to read in 2025, or they go. Wish me luck. If you want to track my progress, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hopefully I will give you updates very soon. If you finished this video, if you came to the end, comment a stack of books emoji. Anyway, I have 2 more videos to film, so I'll see you later.